You finally see it. The luminous reach. Your journey was supposed to be impossible. Every probe sent this way went silent. Every ship vanished without a single trace. Star charts called this sector the graveyard of ambition, a place where physics itself seemed to surrender. Yet here you are. Your small ship, the Wanderer, drifts in the quiet. It is the only thing made of metal and hope in a sea of dead stars. The engines are cold. Life support is a whisper in your ears. You made it. Against all known odds and expert predictions, you are the first to survive the gauntlet, the first to lay eyes on the myth. For generations, this was humanity's ultimate dream: to cross the void between galaxies, to reach the single point of light that defied all star science, a light that promised answers or annihilation. Your crew is small, just you and a handful of others, each one a specialist, each one a dreamer who refused to believe in ghosts. You all stare at the main viewer. The silence in the cockpit is heavier than any planet's gravity. You have come so far. Now the true test was about to begin. You know it. Everyone knows it. The silence out there is not empty. It is waiting. The journey frayed your nerves and your ship. You navigated fields of stellar remnants. You dodged gravitational waves that could tear steel apart. The Wanderer is scarred and tired. Its hull tells a story of survival. But it held together. It brought you to the edge of everything you thought you knew. And now, you are a visitor in a place no human was ever meant to see. The old maps are useless here. The old rules do not apply. You are a child stepping into a cathedral built by gods, and you can only hope they are merciful. You can feel the quiet hum of the universe. It is a hum that seems to shake your very bones. Before you, it hangs in the absolute black, a citadel of pure light. It is not built of matter as you know it. It is a structure of captured energy, a fortress woven from starlight and time itself. It pulses with a soft, white glow. Its architecture is impossible. It has towers that pierce the void. It has bridges that connect nothing and everything. Its scale is staggering. Your ship is a speck of dust next to its silent, majestic form. You wonder who could build such a thing. What ancient, powerful civilization could command light to become their home? This place feels older than the stars. The citadel does not broadcast any signal. No welcome message. No warning to stay away. It simply exists. A testament of power beyond your comprehension. Its silence is its message. It says we are here. We have always been here. What are you in the face of our eternity? The light it emits is not harsh. It is a gentle, luminous presence. Yet it feels heavy with the weight of ages. You feel an ancient, silent power radiating from it. A power that could unmake galaxies with a thought. You have come seeking contact. You have found something far more profound. You have found the heart of the enigma. Your sensors are useless. They either show nothing at all or scream with impossible data. One moment, the citadel is a ghost. The next, it is a singularity of infinite density. Your science has no words for what you're seeing. Your captain orders a slow approach, a gesture of peace, an offering of trust in a place that may not understand the concept. As you get closer, you see patterns in the light. Swirls of gold and silver move within the walls. They are like memories trapped in amber. The memories of a universe you're only just beginning to understand. You feel like an explorer who has stumbled upon a sleeping titan. And you are about to wake it up. The air on your ship grows cold. A presence touches your mind. It is not a voice. It is a feeling of being seen, a feeling of being known, completely and utterly. From the luminous walls of the citadel, they emerge, beings of pure starlight. They have no fixed form. They are humanoid one moment. They are swirling novas the next. They move without effort. They glide through the void as if it were their natural home. There are 3 of them. They stop a short distance from your ship. They radiate an aura of immense authority. Their judgment is not spoken. It is felt. A wave of cold, analytical thought washes over you. They look at your ship. They look through your ship. They look into you, into your heart, your mind, your very soul. You feel your entire life being examined, every thought, every action, every secret hope and hidden shame. There is no defense against it. It is like standing naked before a god. Their assessment is swift. It is absolute. You feel their conclusion form in your mind. A single, terrible thought. Unworthy. The feeling is crushing. It is the weight of 1 billion years of cosmic wisdom pressing down on you. They do not see you as explorers. They see you as a contamination, a flaw in the grand design. Your captain tries to open communications. She sends the standard greeting of the United Planets, a message of peace and shared knowledge. The starlight beings do not respond. They simply continue to radiate their silent verdict. Contaminated, flawed, dangerous. You realize they are not here to talk. They are here to judge. And they have already reached their decision. The space around your ship begins to warp. The stars themselves seem to twist in protest. The beings of light are preparing to act, to carry out their sentence, to erase you from existence. Not out of malice, but out of a cold, unfeeling logic. The logic of a gardener pulling a weed. Without a word, they open your mind. They pour visions directly into your consciousness. You are no longer on your ship. You are witnessing the end of 1,000 civilizations. You see a race of silicon giants on a crystalline world. They had achieved perfect harmony, a society without conflict or dissent. The starlight beings appeared before them. They showed them visions of chaos, of other, lesser species fighting and dying. The giants could not comprehend it. Their logical minds broke. They turned on each other, shattering their perfect world into dust. They failed the test. Next, you see a species of aquatic philosophers. They lived in the deep oceans of a gas giant. Their thoughts were as deep and complex as the sea itself. They spent their lives pondering the nature of existence. The starlight beings came. They offered them ultimate knowledge. The price was to abandon their physical forms, to become one with the cosmic mind. The philosophers refused. They believed their bodies and their world were sacred. For this attachment to the physical, they were judged. The gas giant was ignited. Their ocean world boiled away into nothing. They failed the test. You see race after race, each one unique, each one magnificent in its own way, and each one judged and found wanting. The archives of failure are vast, a silent testament to the being's impossible standards. They tested for logic. They tested for detachment. They tested for a willingness to surrender individuality. And every single time, the species failed. They were too emotional, too attached, too chaotic, too much like you. The visions are a warning, a clear message. This is your fate. This is the end of your journey. You are just another entry in their long list of failures. The visions shift. The lens of the universe turns upon you. Now they project humanity's history. Not for you to see, but for the cosmos to witness. The images are raw and unfiltered. They begin with the dawn of your species. The first fire, the first weapon, the first war. They show your endless cycle of violence, tribe against tribe, nation against nation, brother against brother. The fields of ancient battles flow into the trenches of modern warfare. The mushroom clouds of atomic bombs bloom in the darkness of space. It is a highlight reel of your worst moments. Your deepest shames broadcast for all to see. They do not show your art. They do not show your science. They do not show your moments of love and compassion. They focus only on the chaos, the bloodshed, the division. They project the image of a world constantly at war with itself. A species that has mastered technology only to perfect the art of killing. You see the faces of tyrants and despots. You see the victims of genocide and oppression. You see the planet you call home, choked with pollution and strife. It is a brutal and one-sided portrait. But it is not untrue. It is a part of who you are, a dark and undeniable part. The beings amplify the feelings associated with the images, the rage, the fear, the hatred, the despair. You are forced to relive the worst of your own history, to feel the collective pain of your species. It is a heavy burden, a crushing weight. The message is clear. You are not just flawed. You are a disease, a plague that has infested its own world and now seeks to spread to the stars. The light from the citadel seems to grow colder. The judgment feels less like a verdict and more like a diagnosis. And the prognosis is terminal. You brought your dreams to the stars. They are showing you only your nightmares. A single thought emanates from the starlight beings. It cuts through the chaos of the projected visions. It is a verdict. Contamination. Your species is a biological and psychological plague. Your capacity for violence is a threat to the cosmic order. Your emotional nature is a source of instability. Your individuality is a seed of chaos. You are a failed experiment, a beautiful, tragic mistake. But a mistake nonetheless. You are too dangerous to be allowed to exist. The beings have seen countless worlds. They have judged countless species. Their logic is absolute. Their conclusion is final. The space around the wanderer begins to shimmer. The energy is not aimed at your ship, not yet. It is a demonstration of power. A single star in the distance is targeted. The light from the star is squeezed. It is compressed into a single, infinitesimal point. And then, it is extinguished, just like that. A star that had burned for billions of years is gone, snuffed out like a candle. The beings did not move. They did not gesture. They simply willed it to happen. And it did. This is the power you face, the power to unmake creation, and it is now turned toward you. They give you a final moment, a moment to comprehend the totality of your failure, to understand why you must be erased. It is not an act of cruelty in their minds. It is an act of cosmic hygiene, a necessary cleansing. The light around them intensifies. They are preparing to deliver the final judgment, to wipe your ship, your crew, your entire species from the memory of the universe. You can feel the energy building, a pressure on the hull of the ship, a pressure on your very soul. This is the end. You have come all this way, only to be erased by beings who see you as nothing more than a bug. Number. The voice is quiet, but it cuts through the silence of the cockpit. It is your captain. She stands up from her chair. Her face is pale, but her eyes are defiant. She's not speaking to the crew. She's speaking to the beings of light. You do not get to do this. She says it with a strength you have never heard before. The strength of a person with nothing left to lose. She steps forward, placing her hand on the main viewport, as if she could touch the beings themselves. You are not our gods. Her voice echoes in the sudden, deafening silence. The beings pause. Their energy field wavers for a fraction of a second. It is a flicker of surprise, a crack in their perfect, unflappable logic. The captain speaks again. Her voice is stronger now. You show us our flaws, our violence, our chaos. You are not wrong. That is part of us. But it is not all of us. She turns to her crew. To you. A look of fierce pride in her eyes. We are more than our worst moments. We are explorers. We are dreamers. We are survivors. She turns back to the silent judges. You have existed for eons in your perfect, silent citadel. You have watched 1,000 races fall. But you have never lived. You have never felt the joy of creation, the pain of loss, the desperate, unbreakable hope that drives us forward. She points to the visions of war still flickering around them. Our chaos is the price of our freedom. Our flaws are the source of our strength. We are not perfect, but we are real. And we will not be erased by ghosts who are afraid of a little mess. Her words hang in the void, a single defiant voice against an eternity of cold judgment. The beings of light seem to consider her words. The pressure on your ship recedes slightly. For the first time, a new thought emanates from them. Not a judgment, but a proposition, a final, unwinnable test. They will give you one last chance to prove your worth. They have offered this test to others before, to the logical giants, to the aquatic philosophers, to 100 other species deemed flawed. No one has ever survived it. It is a trial designed to break the spirit, to prove their own grim assessment correct. They project the parameters of the test into your mind. It is not a test of strength or intellect. It is a test of the soul. You must enter a place they call the Chamber of Echoes. Inside, you will not face monsters or aliens. You will face something far more terrifying. You will face the ghosts of your own past, the embodiment of all the failures and sins they showed you. You must confront the worst parts of humanity, not as a distant vision, but as a living, breathing reality. And you must do it alone. The captain looks at you, at her crew. She knows what they are asking. It is a suicide mission, a rigged game. But it is the only chance you have. We accept, she says, her voice firm. The beings do not react. They simply open a path for you. A shimmering portal appears in the side of their light citadel, a doorway into the heart of their judgment. The wanderer is gently guided toward it. The rest of the crew will remain on the ship. The captain has chosen you. You are the one who will face the echoes. The fate of your entire species now rests on your shoulders. You nod once. You are ready. You step toward the airlock, toward the final, impossible test. You step through the portal and into the Chamber of Echoes. The transition is seamless. One moment you are on your ship, the next you are standing in a vast, white space. There are no walls, no ceiling, no floor, just an endless expanse of luminous white. The air is still and silent. It feels like the silence before a storm. You are alone, but you feel 1,000 pairs of eyes on you. The echoes are here, waiting, watching. Then they appear. They are not ghosts in the traditional sense. They are phantoms woven from light and memory. A Roman legionnaire stands before you, his sword dripping with spectral blood. A conquistador raises a banner over a pile of skulls. A scientist from the 20th century weeps as a mushroom cloud blooms behind him. They are the avatars of humanity's greatest sins, the personification of your violent past. They begin to circle you. Their movements are slow, deliberate. They do not speak, but their thoughts press in on you. Accusations, judgments, condemnations. You see a vision of your own ancestors. You see them fighting, killing, surviving at any cost. You feel their desperation, their fear, their rage. The phantoms want you to feel the shame of it all. They want you to despair, to believe that your species is irredeemable. This is the core of the test, to break your spirit, to force you to accept their verdict of contamination. You are surrounded by the worst of yourself, the worst of all of you. The echoes whisper in your mind, killer, destroyer, plague. You can feel the pull of their despair, a temptation to simply give up, to agree, to let them consume you. You were told to face them. You were not told how. The other species who failed this test must have fought back. They must have denied their past. They must have tried to destroy the phantoms. But you remember your captain's words. We are more than our worst moments. But those moments are still a part of us. You look at the legionnaire, the conquistador, the weeping scientist. You see the pain in their spectral eyes, the regret, the humanity. They are not just monsters. They are you. You do not raise a weapon. You do not shout in defiance. You do something completely unexpected. You open your arms. You lower your defenses. You embrace the flaw. You look at the phantom of the Roman legionnaire and you nod. You accept his brutality. It was part of the long, bloody road that led to you. You look at the conquistador and you acknowledge his greed. It was part of the restless, driving ambition that took your species to the stars. You look at the scientist and you share his sorrow. Your greatest triumphs have often come at a terrible cost. You do not fight the echoes of your failures. You accept them. You integrate them. You say to them with your thoughts, with your heart, I see you. I acknowledge you. You are a part of me. And I am not ashamed. This is not what the phantoms expected. They were created to be fought, to be resisted. Your acceptance disarms them. Their forms begin to flicker. Their accusations soften into whispers of confusion. They were the judges, but you have refused to be the defendant. You have chosen to be the whole of your history, not just the parts you are proud of. The chamber begins to react. Your unexpected response has broken the ancient test itself. A deep hum vibrates through the white space. Cracks of golden light appear in the emptiness, like fissures in a perfect sheet of ice. The phantoms look around in alarm. They were instruments of a rigid, logical system. A system that had only two outcomes: pass or fail, fight or submit. Your answer, acceptance, was not in their programming. It was a variable they could not compute. The entire chamber, a construct of pure thought and energy, cannot process this new input. The phantoms of your past reach out to you, not with malice, but with a plea for understanding. The legionnaire lowers his sword. The conquistador lowers his banner. The weeping scientist looks at you with a glimmer of hope. They are no longer your accusers. They are your history, asking to be integrated, not forgotten. You take their hands, and in that moment of connection, the entire chamber shatters. The white light explodes into a silent cascade of 1,000,000 colors. The ancient test, the unpassable trial, has been broken, not by strength, but by compassion, by the one thing the starlight beings had never considered. You are back on the bridge of the Wanderer. The portal is gone. The 3 starlight beings are still there. But something has changed. They are no longer radiating judgment. They are radiating pure, unfiltered shock. They are stunned into stillness. For eons, their logic has been absolute. Their tests have been perfect. They had categorized the universe into neat little boxes of order and chaos. And you, a representative of a messy, emotional, chaotic species, have just smashed all of their boxes. Your answer was completely outside their perfect logic. They replay the events of the chamber in their minds. They see your acceptance of your flaws. They see you embrace the echoes of your past. They try to understand it. How can a species acknowledge its own darkness without surrendering to it? How can there be strength in imperfection? It is a concept that their ancient, ordered minds cannot grasp. It is like trying to explain color to a being that can only see in black and white. You have introduced a new variable into their cosmic equation. The variable of grace. The captain steps forward again. She looks at the stunned beings. "Do you see now?" she asks softly. "We are not defined by our past sins. We are refined by them. We learn, we grow, we strive to be better. That is what it means to be human." The beings do not answer. But you can feel their entire perspective shifting. The shock is turning into something else. Awe, respect. They had seen your chaos as a weakness, a contamination. Now, they are beginning to see it for what it truly is. A source of unimaginable resilience, a wellspring of creativity, a power they have never encountered before. The starlight beings look at each other. A silent communion passes between them. They have judged 1,000 worlds. They have found them all wanting. They have maintained the order of the cosmos with cold, unfeeling precision. But you have shown them something new, something that their logic cannot deny. You have shown them that chaos is not the enemy of order. It is the mother of creation. Your unpredictable spirit, your emotional core, your very flaws are not a weakness. They are a unique power. They turn their attention back to you, to your ship. They see you now not as a plague, but as a miracle, a species that can stare into the abyss of its own nature and not flinch, a species that can carry the weight of its own history without being crushed by it. They finally see that your capacity for great violence is matched only by your capacity for great compassion. Your tendency toward chaos is balanced by an unbreakable will to create order and meaning. You are a paradox, a beautiful, unpredictable paradox. And in a universe governed by rigid laws, a paradox is the most powerful thing you can be. For the first time in millennia, a new thought forms in their collective consciousness. A thought that is not a judgment or a test. It is a question. They look at your captain, at you, at the scarred little ship that dared to cross the void. They see your imperfection not as a flaw to be erased, but as a strength to be understood, a form of creation they had never witnessed. And they realize that they have been the ones who were truly trapped in their own perfect, static existence. You have not just shattered their test. You have shattered their certainty. You have given them the gift of doubt. A voice fills the void. It is not a thought pushed into your mind. It is a true voice, a sound that resonates through space itself. It is the voice of the starlight beings, a voice that has not been used in countless ages. It is a voice that sounds like the chiming of distant stars, and it speaks a single word that changes everything. Teach. It is not a demand. It is a plea. For the first time in their long existence, the ancient, powerful beings are asking not to judge, but to learn. They want to understand the strength you have found in your own chaos. The captain smiles, a genuine, warm smile. "We would be honored," she says. The tension that has filled the cockpit for what feels like an eternity finally breaks. A wave of relief washes over the crew. You have not just survived. You have succeeded in a way no one could have ever imagined. You did not pass their test. You transcended it. You did not prove your worth according to their rules. You forced them to write new ones. The beings of light do not see you as subjects or defendants anymore. They see you as peers, as equals. The citadel of light seems to change. Its glow softens, becomes warmer, more inviting. The towers of energy no longer seem like a fortress. They look like open arms. The starlight beings move closer to your ship. Their forms stabilize, becoming less like swirling novas and more like gentle, humanoid figures of light. The verdict of contamination is gone, replaced by a feeling of curiosity and respect. You have not come to the luminous reach as conquerors or supplicants. You have come as partners. You have bridged the gap between two vastly different forms of existence. You do not stand before them as a flawed species begging for its life. You stand beside them as equals. The first true alliance between a species of matter and a species of energy. The Luminous Alliance. Your journey is not over. It is just beginning. You have crossed the graveyard of ambition to find not an end, but a new beginning. A future where humanity's chaotic, unpredictable spirit is not a liability, but the greatest asset you have. You look out at the citadel, at your new allies, and you know that the universe will never be the same again. You have brought the messy, beautiful miracle of humanity to the heart of the stars, and the stars have welcomed you home.